What's going on, America? What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, Facebook? What's going on, Twitter? All those other good joints. Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. Boy, I was rushing, man. Miscalculating time. You know how it is. You always seem to think, oh, yeah, I got plenty of time. Next thing you're like, oh, crap, the show's about to start. Everybody to your places, to your places. All right, so now, if this is your first time joining the show, well, before we get to that, make sure you can hear me. If y'all can hear me, let me know. And if the sound is not cracking and popping, good. That means we can get the show popping. All right. Secondly, if this is your first time joining the show, please hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms, subscribe to the channel, turn your notification button on and set it to all just in case the YouTube gremlins decide to shut me down or start playing with my channel, like they've been doing. So let me go ahead and get loose so we can get busy. Yeah. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, with that being said, I do have a corner store, Kevin's Corner Store. You can check it out if you want to. And we do have merchandise over there. So if you like something in the store, go ahead and shop to your drop. And that number you see on the screen, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, just in case, something goes terribly wrong over here. In this area right here, we have a way to contact you, and there's an alternative channel you could subscribe to as well. I don't even know if we ever did crack 1,000 over there, so I'm not sure. But if you have not subscribed to my Stop and Think About It channel, please do that so that we can definitely get that one popping as well as an alternative channel. And I am on Rumble and all that other good stuff. The links are all below. And finally, I have a fundraiser. We got 5 days left. Somebody said, finally caught a live show. Good stuff. All right, Vidi. Well, welcome. I'm glad. I'm here every night, 7 to 9. I say 9. Sometime I finish before 9. Sometime I finish at 9. I just went ahead and blocked it out for 9. Okay. So you know where to find me every night, 7 to 9, just in case you don't get a notification. And then I do have a fundraiser link for my channel since, shenanigans are taking place. And that is below the video. I think it's about 5 days left on it. If you want to, participate in that, you're welcome to do so. Now, we got to go ahead and get into what we're going to be talking about tonight, y'all. All lies on Trump. Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo. All lies on Trump. Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo. All lies on Trump. Whole bunch of lies now. We ain't new to the lies. We've been hip to the lie game a long time. Because these folks been lying since day one. Since the day that he came down that escalator. What's happening, Patrice? I think you're in Ohio, too. Say, well, hey, Congressman Kev. Yeah, every once in a while somebody, they tempt me. But, hey, man, I don't know. I don't know if I could do something like that, man. They might make me mad. And I'll be up there dropping all kind of stuff. Hey, man, what you want to do? Oh, you want to bring up the 3rd grade, huh? Why don't we go ahead out there? Oh, you're in Tennessee. Oh, I love that place, too. But, yeah, people been asking me, and I'm like, man, see how dirty these people are? I might be up there like, you know what, let's go into the, ring and man to man so I could just put you to sleep. Yeah, they're too dirty. They're too dirty. And I'm too real. I think I would be so candid that y'all would love me. Y'all would love me. But I know they would try to just destroy me, which I don't care. I don't care. They do it on this channel anyway. So, but who knows? Who knows what the future has in wait for me? Now, with that being said, though, there's been a lot of lies being told on Trump. And I think that is something that anybody looking to get into politics and is serious about making change and is trying to be honest, trying to be America first, they have to prepare for that. That's like a Christian. You become a Christian, you got to prepare for the devil. I mean, as soon as you become a Christian, you're an like immediate enemy to Satan. So, I mean, he might have been like ignoring you for a little bit, like, don't worry about him. He on the squad or he neutral. But if you become deadly serious about your faith, all of a sudden he's like, whoa. I need to assign some imps to this person. I need to assign some demons to this person because this person is deadly serious about what they believe. They're not faking it till they make it. They're trying to be impactful. Therefore, more attention is drawn to them by the enemy. And so if anybody is naive, they would think that Trump deserves all of these lies, all of these attacks and stuff like that. But anybody with common sense would say, wait a minute, all the powerful entities that once loved him are now converging upon him. Why? I mean, what makes him the outlaw? What makes him so different that everybody got to dedicate so much time and effort to stop this dude, to where they break all the laws, all the norms, all of the history, all of that stuff, just destroying all of that to stop this man. And they're doing it to the point where it's obvious if you got common sense. It's so obvious that you're going, wow, they ain't even trying to hide this mess. They're like, man, we going straight pedal to the metal on this. And the only people who can't see it are the bubbleheads. The bubbleheads, they can't see it. And we're going to be highlighting that again tonight, unfortunately. We're going to go ahead and highlight that. Somebody said, how far is East Palestine from me? Not far. In fact, I rode through East Palestine about last week sometime while I was working, right through there. And I said, wow, just, I used to work up in there doing some sales and stuff like that. And I heard Creepy Sleepy creeped up into East Palestine. Y'all getting me distracted, but I'm going to get back to the topic, trust me. But I'm going to be talking about Creepy's visit tomorrow, okay? All right, because the creep came out at night. So trust me, I ain't forget about that one. So anyway, what I'm saying is that these people are hell-bent on stopping Trump, regardless of how obvious it is, how bad they look, how stupid they look, how funny it is to us, but deadly serious, because the serious part about it is there are people out there that are falling for these shenanigans and these lies. So they got some new lies, y'all. They got a new one out, and we're going to have to go ahead and address it. But first, we got to address the big fat elephant in the room, which is Creepy, Sleepy, Sleazy, Slimy, Sloppy Joe and his latest adventures.
I talk to President Biden, regularly. Off sometimes several times in a week.
Now, do you hear Mr. Burns? With those glasses down on his nose, I talk to President Biden regularly.
Nobody can talk to Biden regularly unless you're feeding him pudding. All right. Yep. Sure. Yeah. Corn pop. Open up. Yeah, that's about it. But let's continue hearing what he's talking about, because all of them are about to tell us how sharp Joe Biden is.
Usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years. I've been speaking to him for 30 years.
This is a man who is sharp, who is on top of his game, who knows what's going on in the Middle East and around the world.
So all lies for Biden. So they lie for Biden and they lie on Trump. See, you getting it? So they come out and they lie for Biden. Now, here's the crazy part. He's been talking. I've been talking to him since the last 30 years, and he's sharp. And I'm saying, now, wait a minute. I've been watching clips of Joe going back 30, 40 years, and you're trying to tell me that you don't see a drastic difference from the time he was talking back in the Senate. Every once in a while, he even talk like he has some sense about immigration, things like that. Even when he started revealing his corruption, he was still making sense until that brain said, when the brain broke, everything was revealed. Now, we can obviously see old clips of Joe and see new clips of Joe and say, and you're telling me that he's the same as before? Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. So they're out here now lying for Joe, but they're about to start lying against Trump.
Experience is so important. So Joe Biden has vision, he has knowledge, he has a strategic thinker.
He has strategic thinker. Now, I think she's breaking down mentity too. Talking about he has strategic thinker. Okay, not is a strategic thinker. He has a strategic thinker. And is that why when you was caught on that hot mic, Nasty Pelosi, and they asked you if, Joe asked you, hey, Nance, what do you want me to do? And you said, wait, am I on? No. Can he hear me? Oh, no, then we don't want him to speak. Is that why you did that, Nasty Pelosi? With your nasty mush mouth and your bag of bones. Look at that monkey paw. You see that monkey paw in mid-stride?
This is a very sharp president.
I was in Israel on October 7th, as you know, and President Biden was nice enough to call me. And I can tell you, this was the day before that interview, I can tell you he was sharper than anyone I've spoken to.
I've spent countless hours with this president, whether in the Oval Office or on the road. And I have to say, he's sharp, he's engaged, he pushes us for information.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it.
Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, you gotta go out and you gotta get diapers, gotta get baby formula, things like that. Talking about the most difficult part. Lies, lies, lies. You are right. Now, see, here's what's crazy about this. Notice what they're doing. They're lying for Biden, but they're not providing all of this footage behind closed doors. So you're telling me he's as sharp as a tack behind closed doors. He's on it. Johnny on the spot. Coming so prepared that mucus got to get prepared like I'll meet with Joe Biden next week. You could wake up out of a drunken stupor and meet with Joe Biden and be okay. Because Joe Biden's making no decisions, you know. But here these people are out here lying for Joe. And all they got to do is just start showing some video footage of, you know, him in his situation room or something. Him talking to all of them coherently, controlling a meeting, you know, things like that. Without Anthony Blinken sitting right next to him, shoulder to shoulder. You know, when you go, why is Blinken sitting like shoulder? They look like Siamese twins. Why is he so close? Because he's pinching Joe under the table. Getting hold of that fat meat right there, that back meat. Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. You know what? I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, yeah. So I want to see that footage. I want to see the sharp Joe. Don't be telling me he's sharp and when I see him, he looks dull. He looks real dull. But he is sharp. It's tough to prepare for a meeting with him. So now all of them are lying for Joe. And it's obvious they're lying. See, this is how absurd things have gotten. These people are so corrupt and so blatantly gaslighting the public. They will show you. They know you see everything contrary to what they're saying. And they will still come out and say it. He's sharp, he's witty, he's taking control of all the meetings, and nobody is seeing this. They're just telling you it is. But the evidence is totally opposite of what they're saying. Then they would do the same for Trump. They'll tell you he's everything under the sun, and then won't show you any footage, or they'll distort the footage. They'll omit information. They will do whatever they can to manipulate it, which we're going to see in a few minutes.
Because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
You're lying. You're all lying.
You be the judge.
Mr. President,
Okay, here he is.
you are the oldest president ever. Pretty good shape, huh?
But Joe, I tell you, man, he's funny and don't even know it. That man's a comedian, have no idea. Dang on it. Yeah, they should have announced him when he came on that show. Coming to the stage, an elderly comedian, but he's still busting guts. None other than creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. Give him a hand. He think he's coming out there to do an interview, not realizing he's doing a comedy show. So here he is out here talking about, pretty good, huh? Okay, well, we're about to put that pretty good to the test.
Which leads to my next question. You are more aware of this than anyone. Some people ask whether you are fit for the job.
Ooh.
And when you hear that, I wonder what you think. Watch me.
Oh,
The root here, it is used to make the root beer. It is. My memory is fine. The president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate. A solid meeting with the Mitterrand from Germany.
Somebody go get me some owls. I need a whole heap of owls. Who? We don't know who you talking about, Joe. Dang on it. Who is it? So here he goes, showing us, because he said, watch me.
I mean, from France, looked at me and said,
He said what?
Elderly man with a poor memory.
There you go. That's what he should have said. Elderly man with a poor memory. That's what we're seeing. But hey, he's sharp as a tack. So now everybody's getting exposed. Not only is Joe getting exposed, talking about some, watch me, but all the folks that are lying for Joe are getting exposed because we're watching them. We're watching them.
said I'm going to be a president for everybody, whether they live in a red state or a green state.
A red state. I just caught that one. Some jokes, you got to stop for a second, let it marinate, because Joe, he's up there killing us. He said a red state or a green state, y'all. Right, you live in a red state or a fuchsia state, polka dot state. I'm surprised they don't break states down into races. You know what? If you'd rather live in a state of color or a white nationalist state. So here he is talking about some red state and green states. All right, so let's continue because the hits just keep coming.
Anyway, don't want to.
Wait, he must have forgot his jokes. I thought he had them written down. Let's see.
And said,
elderly man with a poor memory.
said I'm going to be a president for everybody, whether they live in a red state or a green state.
Cue crickets.
Anyway, I don't want to. Making Roe v. Word.
Y'all hear that one? That's one of his best jokes. Making Roe v. Word. There you go. But that guy's sharp as a tack. So we're watching him. And laughing at him. Not with him, but laughing at him.
The best way to get something done is if you hold near and dear to you that you
this is profound.
Like to be able to. Anyway.
Wow. What kind of inspiration are you, Joe? I thought you were supposed to encourage us. You were supposed to empower and embolden us and tell us how to get things done. Near and dear, Teddy. Anyway. Yeah. So all the kids are upset. They're all looking to you for inspiration, words of wisdom, and you left the kids hanging. You let them down, Joe. Yeah. Probably like, hey, if you want this type of knowledge, you know what you got to do. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. Yeah, but sorry, though. I forgot what I was going to say to you kids. Now get out of here. I got my sniff in.
Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah, my man went straight beatboxing. Putin. Yeah. That's what it came down to at the end. Like a rap song or something. Yeah. Finished it off, man, with the yeah. All right, let's continue.
$159,000 billion led. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Yeah. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Man. So now that's what we have to, that's that single word that we have to, when we go out of the state and stuff, and they be like, give us a little information about America. Well, America could be defined in a single word, according to Joe. What? Okay.
What is he talking about? These Americans, they are all crazy. I don't understand. They speak worse than we sound when we speak French.
We don't know what that is, Joe. You're making the whole country look bad talking about some.
What am I doing here?
We don't know. Couldn't even get past first base. 1, 2. Yeah, probably thought he went to 2. 1, 2. Wait, no, am I counting or am I coming up with wait, you know what? Let me start over. 1, 3. No, 1. Gazillion trillion billion. Am I talking about numbers or am I trying to make a point? He doesn't know. He does not know. And these people are out here lying for him as if we don't see this. That's why I got to do these montages to remind them of their lies.
A well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
Exactly.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, watch me. Well, many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment.
Is it a perfect answer? Is it great to misspeak? No, it's never great to misspeak. I promise everybody on this panel right now has misspoken and said the wrong name or the wrong, the wrong date in a conversation. But,
Send in the clowns. Send in the clowns. Try to clean up all of this mess. See, so instead of just flat out lying for him like some do, they're going to come out and try to make excuses for him, which is like lying for him as well. But we all misspeak and stuff like 1 billion times in a month. Yeah. So here they are trying to just downplay all of these things. Like, hey, man, look, hey, we all flawed. And we all got problems. Everyone's what? You act like you ain't ever? That's that. I've been busted doing something that I shouldn't have been doing, and all the saints catch you, and you grab hold of one scripture to get them off your back. Like, baby, did I see you running naked up the street? Man, come, look, he without sin, cast the first stone. Yeah, that's one of those things where you sitting back trying to say we all got problems. I mean, we all misspeak. Come on now. I just ran up the street butt naked. That's all I did. You act like you ain't never did that. So here they are talking about we all got problems. We all misspeak. We all need to make excuses for creepy sleepy.
Speak thing happens all the time.
To everybody.
Every single person. I remember sitting at this table and once confusing South Korea and North Korea. I know better for you.
8 times in the show? Yeah, that's what you're saying? You're telling me you've sat at the table right there, and in the midst of you all talking throughout an hour, you had some of those misspeaks you're defining about 8 or 9, 10 maybe times, to the point where they got to read you questions that you already know the answer to? Is it that's what you're trying to tell me? Because see, this is what we're seeing come out of this man. And that is why every time he goes off script, he gets embarrassed, like his impromptu, I guess, press conference. But all the other ones, straight to the notes. So here they are, the Views doing their best.
You asked me.
Will Joe Biden get it right every day, every time, every interview?
No.
He's going to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
Look, he's going to make gaffes.
Now, why don't we hear this for Trump? Why, when Trump says anything, all of a sudden what he really meant is that he's Hitler when he's talking about vermint. And you know what that is? That's my Kampf talk. Yeah. When Trump mixes up Nasty Pelosi and Nasty Nikki, all of a sudden it's not just everybody makes excuse. Everybody makes a mistake. I mean, it's common, isn't it? It's normal. It's Trump is mentally disturbed. He's breaking down. I think he's suffering from multiple personality disorder. They're going all in on Trump. No excuses for Trump, though. None. He don't get none of those. But Biden gets them all. And surprisingly, somebody on one of the raggedy networks is going to question this liar right here from the Democrat Party.
As you well know, small gaffes are a part of what all of us in public life do. Here's what matters, not the occasional small gaffe. He had a 12-minute press conference where he was focused, engaged, purposeful, and all you're focused on is that 1 minute at the
end. Yeah, 12-minute press conference where he was focused, engaged. That dude stunk it up throughout the whole press conference. If he wasn't making gaffes, he was revealing that he was lying. One or the other. He was either lying or gaffing. Or misspeaking or confused. It was a mess. His emotions was all over the place. I mean, this guy's really out here trying to sell us on this. Here's what you should be focusing on. Now, isn't it odd that you never get what you should be focusing on with Trump? Trump sits back and he talks about how Putin is able to look at our raggedy, corrupt government over here under the Biden administration that is targeting their political opponents and all of the people who don't want to vote for them. And he's saying, and America got some nerve trying to chastise us and talk about democracy. And Trump highlights that, and all of a sudden Trump loves Putin. He loves Putin. See, they missed the whole point. They didn't say, here's what you should be focusing on. The fact that a dictator who just most likely had somebody killed that's in the oppositional party is able to see us for what we are. He's able to see himself in us. That's what they should be focused on. Putin's probably like, I don't know why y'all over here trying to get on me for taking care of this dude over here. I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all doing the same thing to Trump. If y'all could, y'all would do the exact same thing to Trump, which y'all are doing. Yeah, they're doing the same thing to Trump. They just hasn't reached the conclusion. But if they could, they would put Trump in prison forever until he dies of old age. And if the sentence was death, they probably would be like, well, hey, I'm sure these Democrats are that evil. And we've seen it because these folks have destroyed so many lives along the way in the last 6 to 8 years. It's ridiculous. Lives all over the place. All those J6 people. Lives just destroyed. Folks in prison for ridiculous amounts of time. Stupid stuff like that. And here they are, as we get to the end of the show. The new narrative is Trump is the one that made Putin, if Putin did, kill that opposition, I guess that other guy, the other politician. Yeah, Trump did that, y'all. Here we go.
That's not what distinguishes him
that's not
from
exactly
his opponent.
This was not just one moment in the 12-minute press conference. I mean, take a look at what we saw.
Let's see it.
Watch me.
Watch me. Watch me.
There's been a response from there's been a response from the opposition, but yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas. I sat down and I said, "America's back." And Mitterrand from from France looked at me and said, you know, how long are you back for?
You know, Mitterrand, whether it's from Germany or France, obviously he's from France, but he's been dead for 25 years. We all make mistakes, but this is what the American public is seeing, and it's raised concerns.
And y'all are telling us we're not. See, that's the thing. Joe tell us to watching, we watching, and we're seeing him out here doing what I just showed. And yet you're out here telling us we shouldn't be focused on that. We shouldn't be focused on that. That was just one little part of his 12-minute speech. Are you kidding me? Like right now, we're only how many minutes into 26 minutes into the show? You see all those clips? I wonder if this guy ever seen all of that stuff. I wonder if Nancy Pelosi and crying Chuck Schumer seen all of these clips. And yet this guy gonna try to just dummy it down to a 12-minute speech. I mean, come on, you guys aren't focusing on the right thing. It was just a quick speech. You know what? Y'all focusing on the wrong things. No, we didn't just come to these conclusions, you big fat peanut, with that open stadium. How you gonna be rocking the open stadium? Some point you gotta tear the stadium down. Shouldn't be rocking the Bozo the Clown. But here he is out there with that Bozo the Clown. Up here talking about something out there. Y'all should be focusing on what he...
Poll shows over 80% responding saying that they think that Biden is too old to serve as president.
And Jonathan, if press coverage focuses relentlessly on things that don't represent Joe Biden's real body of work, you can push towards that kind of result.
Now, I wonder if that is also applicable to Trump. If the press focuses only on making up negative stories about Trump, never highlighting all of the successes he had, all of the policies, all of these things that he did, never focusing on that. I wonder then, would that also apply to that? Is that why half of the country thinks Trump is a white national? Because you guys been telling them that? Is that why we got folks talking about Trump's about to take over the country and we'll never have another election again because he's going to set himself up as a dictator? Huh? So this guy right here is talking out the side of his neck. So let's continue here in Open Stadium.
That poll should have been about who's actually working to secure our border.
Who is? That poll should have been about who. I mean, I guess the report should have been about who's working hard to secure our border. Do you really want that? I mean, see, here's the thing. Are we talking about the people who work for you guys coming out and pushing that lie for Joe Biden that he's trying to secure the border? Or are you talking about real people who know what's really going on down at that border? Because you don't want them kind of problems. Here's more of Joe. Here's more of Joe. Look at him, y'all. He's coming out with, I believe, the King of Jordan. Yeah, let's see if he's improved after his incident during his press conference.
Watch me! Watch me!
Yeah, I got it.
Watch me!
Let me start by welcoming His Majesty, the King of Jordan. He's been a good friend. Abdul, welcome back to the White House, man.
What? So you just going to abbreviate his name? Abdul? I think it's Abdullah. But hey, you know what? Joe don't have time to put that last A on the end. Abdul. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all Arabs are named Abdul or something like that. Habibi, something like that, I'm pretty sure. Let me get to your wife.
Welcome back. Along with Queen Rihanna, who is...
Rihanna? You telling me Rihanna done married the King of Jordan? Is that? Oh, wait. Hold on.
This meeting with Jill now.
Rania. Oh. But he's sharp as a tack, and he pays attention to details.
And the Crown Prince Hussein. Where is the Prince out there? I thought he was coming out.
This reminds me of something else.
Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here. Majesty, over to you.
Okay, hand it over to him, Joe. Now, where do you go, Joe? Where do you go? Where is he? Wait a minute, let me pick something up. No, wait. I'm going over here to. Am I supposed to be over here? No, I'm uncomfortable. Let me see.
Sorry.
Yeah, let me pat you on the back.
Mr. President.
Stand right there.
Thank you.
Boy, man, it would be great if it wasn't so sad. If this dude wasn't the puppet that they're using to destroy America, it would be funny as heck. And maybe if we come out of this, okay, unscathed or whatever, then we'll be able to sit back and enjoy it to its fullest. Hopefully, even some of the people who didn't see it before will be able to sit back with us. now that, yeah, that is kind of funny. I can't believe I didn't see it. Yeah, me either. I can't believe you didn't see it either. But anyway, let's let bygones be bygones. Creepy's gone. The deep state's gone. You know, the fake news been exposed. Yeah, we done brought things back to the way they used to be. America's back. Now we can sit back and enjoy our life a little bit more. But right now, I got to laugh and be mad at the same time. And then here comes this chick, Raggedy Patty.
No reasonable person will tell you that a report showing the president had classified information sitting in a cardboard box in his garage is a good thing. Obviously, it's not.
Obviously, you're an actress. A propagandist. See, you got to come out and try to say, well, look, I'm not here to excuse Biden, but I'm about to excuse him. I want to make y'all think that, hey, I could recognize that Biden might have had a little hiccup or a little boo-boo. But what I'm about to do is downplay his boo-boo and upplay Trump and all the exaggerated, made-up garbage against him.
In short, what Biden has been found to have done is sloppy. But as a Trump-appointed district attorney concluded, it was not criminal.
What? Yeah, it wasn't criminal. It was just sloppy. It was sloppy, that's all.
There was never any question that the president had not engaged in criminal wrongdoing. This was a case that was, frankly, open and shut on the very first day. There was
open and shut on the first day, yo. Lying for Biden.
Never any question of the president having engaged in any wrongdoing.
There just simply wasn't evidence that he knowingly and intentionally held classified information. And for him to even conclude that he willfully retained, I think, is a flawed conclusion. The evidence does not support that. So that's right off the bat.
I thought what was right off the bat is the first page that talks about how he knew he had classified documents. That's what I thought was right off the bat. But apparently all these eggheads up here who's lying for Biden didn't read the first page. They just, I guess, listened to Biden's raggedy press conference. The report said that I knew I had the classified documents. That's not true. There you have it. Biden said it's not true. I don't know nothing about my son's business dealings. There you have it. Biden has denied those things. They're not proven. They have already been debunked. By who? Us. Okay? Did you do any research on it? No. Because we just heard Biden say he didn't do nothing. So we just took his word for it. See, unreal. This is how fake the news are right about now. And they're upset that we're calling it out.
You have this questionable conclusion, and there's simply no evidence here. I don't understand how he even is able to say that he willfully retained it. The president.
Well, we better see. Because, see, he don't see how the special counsel even see it like this. How can they say that? He willfully obtained classified documents.
President had engaged in no wrongdoing. Period. End of story. The most important thing to remember, though, is the president was found to have been engaged in no wrongdoing.
Here are the facts. Joe Biden, established by this report, Joe Biden retained sensitive classified documents after he left the vice presidency.
We got a rogue CNN person. He's been going rogue for quite a while right about now. So here's the facts that all of these other reporters that just said there's no evidence. No, absolutely none. So wait, he retained classified knowingly after he left as vice president. Can the vice president take classified documents? I don't think he can. Can he declassify those? You know what? Forget that. Let's not even talk about when he was a vice president. Let's go back to when he was a senator. How about that? Can a senator smuggle classified documents out of the skiff and take it to the crib and somehow declassify it? Have it there in his crib for like 40 years? Walking by it, moving it around. Didn't know it was there. Had no idea how it got out the skiff. Huh. Interesting.
It's classified? Or?
Yes, marked classified, highest level, top secret SCI.
Well, wait. Biden told us, no, it's not. It wasn't even that. It didn't have, the red ribbon around it. All that stuff. That's what he said. Wow.
They related to our international affairs, to war plans, to foreign relations. He knew it. He's on tape after he's out of the vice presidency saying to his autobiographer, the classified documents are in the basement.
Wow, but there's no evidence. He didn't break no laws. So the vice president somehow smuggled classified documents out and was reading them to his author for his book. He knew he had them, but we just saw all those liars, including Joe Biden, who said nothing was classified. And the only reason I knew this stuff is because my staff put it there. That's the only thing I'm guilty of is not checking on my staff. How did you end up telling your author who wrote your book, I guess your writer, how'd you end up telling them you had classified documents if you didn't know they were down there? I mean, I would think, Joe, soon as you would have recognized them, you'd have been like, oh, I got to stop what I'm doing because I'm about to ruin my whole career. Send that mess right back to where it came from. But you didn't do that. And you thought you were untouchable, so you could go out there and drop all of that stuff out there to your writer and think it'll never come back to bite you. And honestly, it would have never came back to bite him if they wouldn't have went after Trump for this stupid stuff. If they wouldn't have went after Trump for all this stupid stuff, then it wouldn't have came back to bite him.
He knew it.
But he just denied that.
Exactly.
That's a key part of the report.
See, now you're starting to sound like you got some brains. Yeah, you're putting it together. Wait a minute, he just denied that. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, Christian, or whatever your name is. He just denied it. What does that mean to you? Huh? What's the revelation you're getting from that? He's a liar. And you have been defending that liar since day one. She looks like she's shocked. Wait a minute. He just denied that. That's fascinating.
Second sentence in the report, and he just denied sharing that with the ghostwriter. And I just looked at this closely. They had recorded conversations between Biden and this ghostwriter.
Exactly.
Recorded?
That is what blew my mind.
They found evidence that he knew there were classified documents in his basement, for instance. But if he can tell a jury, like...
Now, y'all ready for this excuse? She about to go get her a big sponge. She ain't gonna even get the mop. She's going knees and hands. She's about to clean this mess up with this excuse. She's like, let me get on my hands and knees and scrub. Because I got to clean this up. So now, if you're an elderly person.
Yeah, I guess I knew that day, but then I forgot the next day.
Okay, hold on.
But then I forgot.
Let's hear this excuse from the start.
Ghostwriter, and I just looked at this closely. They had recorded conversations between Biden and this ghostwriter.
Exactly.
Let's see if this makes sense.
That is what blew my mind.
They found evidence that he knew there were classified documents in his basement, for instance. But if he can tell a jury, like, yeah, I guess I knew that day, but then I forgot the next day, well, then he didn't willfully retain the classified document.
Now, did y'all hear that? It's as simple as that, boys and girls. If you tell a jury, because now you're older, that, hey, I know I retained classified documents, and the next day you come in and say, what? What's a classified document? That means you had no idea that you retained classified documents dating back 40 years ago. Before your brain broke. See, so all of that time, I mean, when did this senility just kick in? I mean, was it back then? 40 years ago when he was smuggling stuff out of the skiff? Huh? What about all of that? So now here she is trying to say like this stuff just happened last week or something. She's forgetting that this stuff goes back decades. But now all of a sudden he's supposed to get a pass because now he's too old to remember. You know, one day he might remember, one day he might not. One day he feels like a nut, one day he doesn't. So just based on that, the jury should just say, you know what? He probably had the same mentality and the same issue 40 years ago when he was doing this. 40 years ago. Or could it be that, Joe, You might not remember now, but you can't use that excuse. 40 years ago, 30, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, you had a better memory. And here she is trying to say, well, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. She think we stupid.
Meanwhile, I tell the boys and girls today's new word.
What is the new word today, boys and girls? Let's see. It's a beautiful day amongst the fake news.
Listen, the word of the day in this report came out to describe the descriptions was gratuitous, and I think that was right.
Gratuitous, boys and girls. Can you say gratuitous? Here we go.
Or cheap shots.
I found some of the language in the report a little bit gratuitous.
Today's new word.
Gratuitous.
This special counsel report was gratuitous.
This gratuitous language that he used.
Gratuitous language about his mental acuity.
A very gratuitous hypothetical about Biden's age.
I think the word gratuitous is generous. There was so much unnecessary, inflammatory, and partisan kind of language that was used about President Biden in there.
There's a Justice Department tradition that you don't interfere with presidential elections.
What? Boy, I tell you, the hypocrisy. Justice Department, long-standing, that they don't interfere with elections. They did it with crooked Hillary, letting her off. And they definitely have been doing it with Trump since day one. Day one. Gratuitous. So now I wonder how they all got the word of the day, boys and girls. Perhaps it was a call by somebody special. Let's see. Who could it have been, boys and girls? Hello, fake news. Hello. You know who this is. Yeah, can I say your name? Absolutely not, you peasant. No one says my name out loud. Only I can say it. Yes, and if you need me, all you have to do is call me, because I'm nasty as I want to be. Now, before I tell you the word of the day, I want to go ahead and have my sip of the day. Oh, yes, that's good. That's good, nasty. Now, gratuitous, you peasant. Yes, that's what I want to hear. Gratuitous. There you go. I'm sure somebody called them and told them gratuitous is the word of the day. All right, we're on it. Pass it on. Gratuitous. As if we're not able to connect the dots, y'all. Gratuitous everywhere.
This seems like the height of interference. It's gratuitous.
Yes.
Republicans making hay out of the gratuitous age comments in the report.
This is a little bit, in my view, beyond editorializing. It is gratuitous political hackery.
All of the other language. We use the word extraneous. We use the word gratuitous. But like I said, I think those are generous words. Those are just actually too nice to say. They were not supposed to be there.
Unbelievable that these people somehow are all on one accord. Gratuitous. That's not a common word you hear on the news. But all of a sudden, in a time frame of a few days, they all adopted that word just like that. Now, these people got maybe a thought on it, maybe a hypothesis about how that all happened.
Said it because that's the memo. You need to use the word gratuitous. And they did.
They did.
There's no way everybody decided that was the word to describe it. She admitted it wasn't.
Democrats, when you see that, I mean, they are obviously, just in general, devoid of independent thought.
Of course.
And we can't stand them for that. But at the same time, we admire them because Republicans
so together.
They could never, GOP talking heads could never move in lockstep like that to defend one of their own.
Now, that is true. Yeah. Now, so that is obvious that these folks work for the Democrat Party. Somebody from the White House called them and said, hey, look, you got to downplay this report. Call it gratuitous. That's the word. I don't care how you put it in your sentence. I don't care how you defend it. Just make sure you let your audience know gratuitous. So, yeah. And what else about these Democrats?
And the Democrats are they have no shame, so they don't even care if they end up in a montage embarrassing themselves.
And they don't think you're going to notice. Yeah,
they don't think nobody would notice that. And if you do, they don't care. Do you understand all of the footage we have of them double talking, of them contradicting themselves, of them getting caught in lies, of them repeating the same thing over and over again, all of this stuff. And they just move on. They're like, you know what? If long as the bubbleheads that we have under our spell don't get wind of this, then we're okay. We already know that all of the common sense folks that is on to us. We all know it. They're like, you know what? We're not trying to save them. We're not trying to save them and make them become liberals. They're already white nationalists and stuff. Okay, we're trying to save all of the bubbleheads. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to save them from the truth. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to save them from freedom. That's what we're trying to do. And we're trying to save them from freedom, mentally and physically. So. Gratuitous. That's the word of the day, boys and girls.
The special counsel wrote that the president could also portray himself at trial as an elderly man with a poor memory who would be sympathetic to a jury.
He wouldn't be portraying himself. He would be being himself. That's what I'm not here to portray myself as nobody. I'm here to be myself. Join our national depression, isolate, and punish China. Now go get me some corn pop. What, go get corn pop? No, get me some corn pop. And then get corn pop too. Unreal.
Hers description.
A neurologist and a lawyer.
Oh,
let me just finish.
Oh boy. Here come Beaker and Mika. Send in these two clowns. They are the worst actor and actress on TV. Here they come, y'all. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and try to oversell the heck out of this. All right, let me go ahead and grade him like a serious acting coach.
I agree.
Well, no, but we kind of need to stop there. A neurologist.
You're talking about her.
Her from Trump University.
Yeah.
And I'm just. Do you think that this guy is so naive? Do you think this guy is so stupid? Do you guys think this guy is so clueless?
Okay, I don't like the way you're emphasizing your words. Yeah, because now you're sounding stupid. You think this guy's so stupid. I mean, you think this guy's clueless. You sound like, some surfer out in California. Stupid dude. You think this guy's clueless. You're overselling it, Beaker. Pull back.
That he didn't know by putting words in that Donald Trump would love for him to put in there, that wasn't going to be the headline for the New York Post, that wouldn't be on every. The guy knew. He's a Trumper who knew.
He's a Trumper who knew. I would be like, cut. You're the worst. Can we get another stand-in? Does he have a stunt double? Where's the real Beaker? He would do better. Yeah, send in the real Beaker. He would do better than him.
Fairly standard lawyering to advise people, even when in doubt or you think you might remember. If you can credibly say, I don't recall about something, that's a standard legal advice. And has nothing to do with the age of the person giving the deposition.
When you're under oath, you can't lie. If you do recall, you have to say that you can. But if you can't.
Exactly. Well, that's the whole point, right, Rachel? That basically, because of those standards, the extra burden that you don't want to get anything wrong means you err on the side of saying, I don't recall, I don't remember, unless you really specifically do.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused.
It's focused. What does that mean? Oh, it's focused. Man, those hookers and hoes work hard for their money on the fake news. They work hard for their money. So hard for their money. Roxanne. They're out there putting on that red dress. So here he goes. It's focused.
I haven't.
What?
Look.
What?
The idea that witnesses over a 40-year discussion, 40-year discussion, don't remember everything, or that someone who graduates from college in June can't tell you where the diploma is in September. That seems to be a condition that this special prosecutor doesn't understand in the human mind.
Boy, I mean, like I said, man, these people sound like cheap prostitutes. They getting, pennies, dimes, nickels. They ain't even like high class. You ain't even fooling anybody, making them think you're a high class prostitute. You coming in fishnets, all ripped and stuff, makeup smeared all over your face, shaking with the cigarette. How you doing? So you want to have some fun at night? I don't know. You look like you got the cooties. Don't know. I don't know. At least fake it till you make it. Thing on it. So So here they are out here trying to make excuses, talking about how you gonna remember that from college and stuff like that. This is so beyond what they're trying to make an excuse for. His behavior currently is not the normal behavior somebody has. If you say, hey man, what year did you graduate from college? Oh man, shoot, I went in at 90. Okay, what side of the campus did you live on your freshman year? Oh shoot, let me think. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about events in the past, but also events in the current. And this guy is all over the place. He just recently was out there reading stuff to, I guess, his book writer. This is like 10, 15 years ago or something like that. We're not talking about 40 years ago. If his mind is that sharp, he should be able to remember the simple details that the special counsel was asking him. Starting off with Beau. I think Beau died maybe 10, 15 years ago. And here they are here talking about that. He shouldn't remember all these things. How you going to try to make excuses by talking about some 40 years ago back in college? How can you remember all this stuff? Now, if these were the excuses that every criminal could use, nobody would be guilty. If you committed a crime 30 years ago or something like that, and the statutes of limitations didn't expire, and they start asking you, all you got to do is, man, how you expect me to remember that, man? Man, whether I killed somebody or not, I can't even remember. And you can't hold me on trial for this, because yesterday I did say I slaughtered about 18 people. But today I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea, except for Trump. Thank you. There you go.
In addition, I know there's some attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events. There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. Oh, okay. How in the hell dare he raise that?
Yeah, get off my back. That's what that was. I'm going to act like I'm mad and offended. Yeah, but we're about to find out a new detail about them asking Joe about Beau. See, because let's be honest, Joe loved talking about Beau and how Beau died in Iraq, even though I guess he don't remember where Beau died and how he died, because Beau didn't die in Iraq. But you know what? Who's paying attention to details?
That might be a date that I might forget. I'm not saying that he did forget, but if he did, that is something that in some ways is understandable.
Nobody's closer to me, and nobody's been closer to me in my life than my mom. If somebody asked me in the middle of a deposition, what year did your mom die? I go, I don't know, 2017, 2018, 2019, I don't know.
Why would he want to remember the day that his son died? Why?
They are trying, y'all. They are trying. Why would you want to remember the day that your son died? Why?
You don't want to block that out of your head. You want to remember when he was alive.
There you go. You want to block that out of your head. She's one of the purest bubbleheads on TV, man. She's dead serious. That's the funny part. She ain't even being a propagandist. She's being herself. Why? Now, maybe she don't watch Joe Biden enough, which obviously she doesn't. But the man constantly is bringing up Beau. Constantly. My son Beau died. And if he's trying to forget Beau, he's doing a horrible job at it. Horrible job. And he said, why you would want to put that out of your mind? Beau, my son Beau died in Iraq. Boy, these people, man. Prostitutes.
For some reason, you had the guy, the special counsel, asking, "Hey, what year did your son die?"
But the larger question is, why the hell are you asking that question?
Yeah, right? Why y'all asking that question? What that got to do with the whole deposition, man? Don't be, as you saw Joe. Tell him none of your darn business. None of your darn business. You heard Joe.
What does that have to do with the retention of classified documents?
Yeah, frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, wasn't any of their damn business.
None of them.
But according to NBC News, Her never asked that question. According to two people familiar with Her's 5-hour interview with the president over 2 days last October, it was the president, not Her or his team, who first introduced Beau Biden's death. Biden was trying to recall that period by discussing what else was happening in his life. And it was at that point in the interview that he appeared confused about when Beau died, the sources said.
1, don't y'all feel dumb. 2, look at y'all. So now you telling me that they didn't even ask him about Beau? Like nobody ever asked him about Beau and he just volunteers it. Both all occasions. Every conversation, he's bringing up Beau. Now you got dummies on here trying to go out there and defend him. Obviously, they didn't even stop to read the report. just coming out there. Yeah, why would you even want to ask that question? We didn't. Boy, I tell you, man, it burns me up sometimes where I see incompetent, stupid people make it somehow in life. I'm looking at all these clueless, dumb, corrupt, stinking people, and I'm going, you're making how much money a year? What you worked for who? You did what in government? How did you get there? How did you get there? You come on TV and you're throwing out stuff that you didn't even stop to say, you know what, maybe I better double check, look at the transcripts and see if this is accurate before I get out here and start defending Joe and saying stuff that can be looked up. But yet, they just go on. Now, I would love to see them same people who was upset that they asked him about Beau. I would love to see what they have to say after reading this. Huh? Say, yeah.
Biden got the date, May 30th, correct, but not the year.
Oh. Wow. So there you have it. All eyes for Biden, but now all eyes on Trump. Here it come, y'all. They about to dust they trying to build on top of all the lies, the stack of lies they already done built. Here's a new one. Here we go.
All of us should reject the dangerous statements made by the previous president that invited Russia to invade our NATO allies if they weren't paying up.
Invited Russia. They wonder why we don't believe them. They wonder why everybody who got common sense is going, man, these are some evil, stinking, corrupt people. Now, do you really think that Trump said, listen, if y'all don't pay up, I'm going to tell Russia to invade y'all. That's what I'm going to do. Matter of fact, Putin, if you're listening, invade them if they don't pay up for NATO. Just came out and said that. But here's the problem. When your brain is broke. Y'all hear that lie? Now, see, he can't finish the lie because his brain is broke. Now watch this.
He said if an ally did not pay their dues, he'd encourage Russia to, quote, do whatever the hell they want.
Now, you see the rapid blinking? Body language experts? That shows my brain is powering down. I can't connect the thoughts. I've read the one thought, but I can't realize or figure out where I'm going with this. I only got this far. Now I got to figure out, wait, what was the rest of this big fat lie I was about to say? So now the brain literally powered down and starts spinning, trying to boot back up. Now, where was I? Do you see this fool out here talking about something? Now, when he powers back up, though, he got to come up with an excuse why he didn't finish what he was saying. Here we go.
All of us should reject the dangerous statements made by the previous president that invited Russia to invade our NATO allies if they weren't paying up.
See, that's what you get.
He said if an ally did not pay their dues, he'd encourage Russia to, quote, do whatever the hell they want.
Man, he looked like he's about to cry. Looked like he was about to cry. Like, what the heck was I about to say? Now, this right here is unbelievable. This is so obvious that Joe just, he can't go no more. He can't go no more. So he's trying to reboot. And look.
I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit and not say what I'm really thinking. But
yeah, I bet. Because you don't have a thought. You can't say what you're really thinking because you don't know what you were really thinking. You just read the first part of the teleprompter and just went completely blank. Completely blank. As you're trying to lie on Trump. All lies on Trump. Do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do. All lies on Trump. And got stuck in the middle of a lie. Unreal. Couldn't finish it. Had to pull the parachute. Well, never mind. I better not say what's on my mind because I don't know what's on my mind. I have no idea what's on my mind.
Be clear. Do whatever the hell they want.
See, let me be clear.
I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit. Not.
Normally, I would feel bad for somebody like this. You know? But see, he makes it real hard to feel bad for him. It really does. He really does. See, one, whoever he's surrounded by, the folks that really supposed to love him, obviously don't. They obviously don't. They're covering this up and they still got him out here trying to run for president, knowing that he is completely embarrassing himself. And you got to know deep down in your heart, if you're Jill, if you're Hunter, if you're anybody that loves this dude, if they do love him, you got to know by now, being attached to the corrupt, evil Democrat Party, that at some point they're going to chop his knees out from under him. Yeah, he's going to go out real bad if they have to go ahead and get rid of him. So I don't know why they even let him come back out and do this. But here he is out here trying to lie on Trump. That's why it's hard to feel bad. He's using the last bit of dang on RAM that he has in his brain to lie. Just write up the lie on the teleprompter and I'll read it. And then got stuck in between the lies and powered down. Booted back up, have no idea what I was saying.
Say what I'm really thinking, but let me be clear.
But what we've seen and heard from the president in the past 5 days may be the biggest lie of all.
Y'all remember Don Lemon? Where's he at? Where's Don Lemon? Yeah, see, I'm looking for Don Lemon, eh? So let's see what Lemonhead, remember back when Lemonhead was talking reckless?
Repeatedly, and with no facts to back him up, making the outrageous claim that the so-called deep state spied on his campaign. He did it again today.
Again?
When they look at the documents, I think people are going to see a lot of bad things happen. I hope it's not so, because if it is, there's never been anything like it in the history of our country. I hope, if you look at Clapper, he sort of admitted that they had spies in the campaign yesterday, inadvertently. But I hope it's not true, but it looks like it is.
It's not true. It's a lie.
It's a lie.
So the biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
There's no real evidence of that.
Of course there is. It's all over the place.
No. Uh-oh. CIA, Foreign Intelligence Agency, illegally targeted 26 Trump associates before 2016 Russia collusion claim report. Wow.
The story, as you mentioned, was that, we were just informed by foreign intelligence
that's
about
what they
this.
had told us.
Our sources tell us a very different story, which is that this was initiated by the U.S. government. It came from within the U.S. government's intelligence community, including the CIA, that they asked the so-called Five Eyes nations intelligence agencies, that's the other English-speaking nations, including Britain and Australia, to spy on 26 Trump associates.
They spied on my campaign, they got caught.
No.
And then they went much further than that, and they got caught. And you will see that, Leslie.
But this is a huge, huge story. I've been thinking about it in the history of the United States of America. Have we ever had something like this where the intelligence community was weaponized against a political candidate and using our foreign allies to do it? I can't think of a more important or dramatic story.
Me either. Yeah, and I wonder why all those fake news people who was up here lying for Joe Biden is not covering this story. Yeah, because see, it looks like our own CIA, FBI, and definitely crooked Hillary Clinton, they all lied on Trump then. They were lying on him. These lies go back, y'all. Remember, Trump was a Russian agent. Now, we just heard them talking about Russia. We just heard them saying that Trump right here loves Russia. He's about to encourage Russia to do this and all of these. Trump did this. And the first round proved that these were the people who did this. These were the people who was lying on Trump, calling him a traitor to the country, calling him a Russian puppet, a Putin puppet, all of those things. They were lying then. And now they're bringing the lies back. They're updating these Putin lies.
Yeah, and then going to great lengths by using FBI raids to cover it up.
He's basically made clear that under a Trump administration, the United States is unlikely to keep its NATO commitments. And I think that Republicans who understand the importance of the national security situation, who continue to support him, are similarly going to be held to account.
Now, y'all hear this big Renault? Here we go with the Renault. This big rhino right here. So here she goes back on CNN. Whenever you are a Republican that CNN uses a source, or MSNBC using a source, we all know you are a rhino. So she's saying that, well, we're most likely not going to defend NATO. We're not going to. Now, is Trump talking about not defending NATO? I mean, he's talking about NATO better pay up, just like he did the first time, and got results. But here she is trying to come out and imply that Trump is going to pull us out of NATO and going to leave NATO hanging. Well, guess what? If we're paying into NATO or we're spending a lot of money and NATO is not paying, then hey, sadate. In the words of Putin, sadate. Sapachow, my damie, sapachow. In the name of Putin. So now, let's continue because the lie thickens.
You know, when you think about Donald Trump, for example, pledging retribution, what Vladimir Putin did to Navalny is what retribution looks like in a country where the leader is not subject to the rule of law.
Now, this right here is the most hypocrisy I've ever heard. This woman was on that J6 committee doing the same thing, trying to destroy Donald Trump with lies, saying he's a traitor, trying to make sure he could never run for office again, trying to convict him, trying to throw him in prison. All of the things that she's trying to say, this is projection on a whole nother level. That's why I say all eyes on Trump. So now, this rhino is out here who's responsible for all of that crap. Probably colluded with Fat Fanny, colluded with all these people. Here's our J6 stuff. Go lock him up. Go after his finances. Go ahead and find him and all of that stuff. Get all the money you can get out of this dude. All of those things. And here she is trying to say, this is something that Putin would do. This is something you guys are doing. That's what it is. It's something you guys are doing. That's why Putin said, takes one to know one. Takes one to know one. As bad as what allegedly happened to that man in Russia, if they could get their knuckles on Trump like they want to, I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't duplicate Putin's behavior. So let's continue hearing these lies.
And I think that we have to take Donald Trump very seriously. We have to take seriously the extent to which, you've now got a Putin wing of the Republican Party.
Man, they beat the Russia horse to death. It went from a MAGA wing to a Hitler wing to a Putin wing. All kind of stuff. I mean, it's fascinating how big of a propagandist this person is. And I can't even believe she was a Republican. I'm glad they're all getting exposed, though. Her, all the rest of the rhinos, expose them. Boy, I bet you they're so upset that they done lost the Republican Party. I mean, they had a good thing going. Yeah, but Trump upset all of that mess and woke a whole bunch of people up. And they're like, this is how we could be as Republicans? You mean we could fight for America? You mean we could actually have America first? And we got Republicans who are sitting on the wheel thinking about themselves instead of the people, like this nasty one right here.
I believe the issue this election cycle is making sure the Putin wing of the Republican Party does not take over the West Wing of the White House.
McCarthyism. Just straight up calling them Putin wing of the Republican Party. So basically they're all traitors. That's what it is. Can I say the Ukraine wing of the Democrat Party and some of the Republican Party? Can I say the Chi wing? The chicken wing? Yeah, what about that Chi wing of the Democrat Party? That's what I want to know. So here we go.
Let's begin with the death of the Russian leader, Alexei Navalny.
Watch this live.
It was in a Siberian prison, as you know. President Biden says that Russian President Vladimir Putin is responsible for his death. First of all, what are your thoughts about this, and how, if we can, should the U.S. hold Russia responsible?
Thank you, Alex. I think we have to ask ourselves, why did Navalny all of a sudden die at this point in time? I first of all agree with President Biden that Russia is responsible for his death. Also, what happened in the few days leading up to his death? Well, we had former President Donald Trump.
Oh, God. How is this dude right here now starting to preach Donald Trump into the death of this man? They're so disgusting. They are so disgusting. So now let's hear how he tries to work this in. How Trump now is responsible for this man's assassination or death. Here we go.
Essentially say that Russia should attack European countries.
Essentially said that Russia should attack European countries. Man, can you sue these people for defamation? I mean, this is fascinating. So Trump got up there and said, Russia, y'all should attack European countries. For what? Why would he tell them that? He didn't say, you know what? If you don't pay and Russia happens to attack you, we're not going to help. This guy said he told Putin to attack European countries.
That's crazy. That is traitorous language.
No, what's traitorous language is what you're saying right now, where you're accusing a former president of treason, basically, of colluding with Russia, just like y'all did the first time. Just like you did the first 4 years of his presidency. Trump should get an extra 4 years in the White House for these people right here and all their lies and deceit during that first presidency.
Russia certainly was listening. And I think they thought, hey, we now have a green light to do all sorts of crazy stuff.
So let me get this straight. Putin was over there like, yes, we cannot kill this man in prison. This is not good. We can't do it. Everybody would what? Trump has given us the green light to kill him. That's what you're telling me? Out of nowhere, Putin decided, let's go ahead and, take this dude out in prison. Because I watched Trump. And Trump said that if NATO doesn't pay, then hey, they get invaded, they're on their own. So now that gives me the green light to go ahead and, this is so stupid and so evil. And he's on a show that is about to throw him a little pass to try to make it really stick. Because see, right now they know that their audience probably is going, okay, wait, now, is he trying to tell us that it is Donald Trump that is the person who responsible for this? So watch the commentator. Watch the lady try to say, wait, she gonna try to act ignorant. Wait, are you saying that there could be a connection? Watch this.
And if Trump would be president, Putin would have even more latitude.
If Trump was to be president, Putin will have more latitude to do what? I think he has a lot of latitude to take out anybody in his country. Yeah. I mean, you don't see Putin trying to stop y'all from taking out Trump in this country. Right now, y'all are running rampant, acting a fool over here. But yeah, you're trying to tell me 1 minute Putin controls Trump, the other minute Trump controls Putin. There you go. And Putin wouldn't have did what he did if he didn't hear Trump. Trump encouraged him. Somehow Trump is Putin. Putin is Trump. Who cares? Yeah, they're interchangeable. But these people are something else. That's why, I'm telling you, they would kick me out of Congress so quick, man. I would let this person have it. I ain't gonna do it. Here we go.
Some responses. Russia has funded terrorism. They are a state sponsor of terrorism. The State Department could designate Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. In addition, we can seize the Russian assets that we have that are already frozen, and we can sell them and give the proceeds to Ukraine.
Maybe you should tell Creepy Sleepy to do that with that Russian oligarch that for some reason didn't come under the sanctions. The one that gave his son that big fat diamond. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, $3 million or so.
So the first part of your answer there, are you suggesting there could be a link between what Donald Trump was saying Russia, do whatever the hell you want to our NATO allies? Do you think it emboldened potentially Putin? Because to your other point, the day before he died, he looked to be in perfectly good health. He'd spoken with his wife. He appeared via Zoom in some sort of a legal arraignment that he had to do there. We're looking at pictures right there. He was joking with the guards, joking with the judge or an attorney there. He looked absolutely fine.
So wait, are you telling me that these two didn't sit together and coordinate this? This is unscripted, off the top of her dome. Let's talk about this gentleman who got killed in Russia. And just so happened, he brings up this whole far-stretched connection with Trump and this man's murder, if he was murdered. And then this woman, instead of saying, that sounds like a bunch of bull crap. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Do you understand? You're trying to make these connections. Instead of doing that, she asked, wait. Are you saying that somehow, this is fascinating. Could you elaborate on that a little more? So let's hear him elaborate.
Next day drops dead?
I think it's quite a coincidence. And certainly Russia is listening to what the former president is saying. He's saying crazy stuff. And
crazier than what this is? Crazier than what we're hearing right now? This is unbelievable. This man up here is trying to make, this is about as crazy as when he tried to suggest that Candace Owen was supporting Hitler. She's a Nazi and got embarrassed. But unfortunately, he's sitting on the show with another dummy propagandist who's acting as if she's flabbergasted by this. She's able to, really see the connection. What? Oh, yeah, that's fact. I never saw that. I never saw the connection because there is none. There is no connection. This man is full blown making this up and saying, you know what? We might as well go ahead and try to make Trump be connected to this. Why not? We got dummies who watch us. Maybe they'll believe it. Who knows? I'm going for it. Let's see. Unbelievable.
Language he's using is not only crazy, it dishonors the veterans and our military members who fought in World War II, who established this peaceful world order that has kept the peace for many, many years.
Let's talk about Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah. Remember the last time Trump ran for the presidency, and while he was president, he was critical of NATO countries. He said the other members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, specifically the European nations, were not spending enough on their own defense. They were seeking to rely instead on the US. Now, he used his usual colourful language, and the media and his political critics said he was undermining NATO.
Donald Trump made an issue of NATO countries not paying for their own defense, but critics say his comments over the weekend crossed the line.
And they all owed money, and they wouldn't pay it. I came in, I made a speech, and I said, you got to pay up. They asked me that question. One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills. And the money came flowing in.
Now, isn't that crazy how he got results? Isn't that crazy how he got results talking like that? Isn't it funny how they always talk about his rhetoric and what he's saying and all this stuff? Yeah, but then all of a sudden you get results out of it, but they don't want to focus on the results. See, that's not the goal for them. They want to focus on what he said to them when he said, hey, I would encourage them to do whatever they want to do if you're not going to pay. Okay? He didn't say he would encourage them to attack the European countries. He said, look, if y'all aren't paying. Now, understand, this guy was calling Trump spluff. So what are you going to do if we don't pay? So if Trump would have said, we'll still defend you, good, then you're not getting the money. That's what that says right there. You're not getting the money. Long as I know, at the end of the day, you will have my back, regardless of whether we pay or not. So we end up looking like stupid fools like we always do. Like we always do. So here Trump comes along and says, you know what? If you're going to ask me something stupid like that, then I'm going to have to go ahead and give you the rawest, hardest core answer that you can get so you understand I mean business. Now, it might not sound too sweet to your ears, but I'm going to give it to you raw. When you give it to me, yeah, give it to me raw. Just like he gave it to Little Rocket Man at first until he got the message. Just like he gave it to Iran and they got the message. And we got great results out of all of that. Now, isn't that odd? These folks who just got done talking about, well, what they should have focused on in Biden's speech is the fact that he's working on that border and he's doing this and that. But then you get Trump come out and he talks about how he got great results from these European nations that were pimping us out and they start paying us. This is no different than when he talked about how he went ahead and gave it to Mexico. Hey, man, you're going to give us some people to stop these folks from coming into our country. I know we're not. Oh, you're not? Okay, well, then you're not getting money. How about that? And we're going to hit you with all kind of tariffs coming across. Oh, wait a minute. What I see is a great negotiator that knows how to get results. That's what I see. I don't see anybody say, hey, Putin, attack Europe. But see, the fake news always lying on Trump.
The utterly dangerous words of an old man that could trigger World War III.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
2 words.
Old man that could trigger World War III.
What?
Old man.
Joe always shits his diaper before dinner. Always.
I'm getting tired of wiping his ass. Joe does a number 2 and it goes up his back and gets everywhere and then runs down his leg.
Man, Trump fan be putting together all kind of stuff, man. You check out his channel, Trump fan. He be putting together some wonderful montages. Yeah, because Joyless Reed is talking about an old man who don't know what he's talking about. She can't be talking about Trump, y'all. She can't be talking. She got to be talking about this guy.
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down and then watch the hair come back up again.
Come back up
I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
What you talking about, Willis?
Dangerous words of an old man that could trigger World War III.
We choose truth over facts.
Somebody like this?
I knew Joe would be a shitty president, just not this shitty.
I know 2 people near where I live. Their kids literally, that's where they woke up dead.
Literally? You telling me he knew 2 kids that woke up literally dead? That means... Oh, boy. This ain't no metaphor. This is a fact. Literally woke up dead. Y'all ever wake up dead? Y'all ever do that? Y'all ever met somebody who woke up dead? Not me. Not me. But that's the guy up here talking about, yeah, I knew some kid who literally woke up dead. But, yep, Trump's the one that's breaking down mentally, and Joe Biden is sharp as a tack, and all of that stuff.
You would think I was talking about President Joe Biden.
Yes.
I'm not. I'm talking about Donald Trump. It is the media's responsibility to cover both men with the same dogmatic fervor. But
well, y'all hear this? So now all of a sudden, she said it's the media's responsibility to cover both men with the same dogmatic fervor. I've never seen her do a show attacking Joe Biden, except when she wasn't, on she thought she wasn't on cameras. She thought the mic was off there, like this dude about to drag into another effing war. Or that's the what? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be honest for a second when I thought nobody was listening. So now here she is trying to say, yeah, man, we've been attacking these folks evenly the whole time. I wonder if we were to check like their negative coverage on Joe versus Trump, how would that fare out?
thus far, more ink has been spilled and more hours have been spent dissecting Joe Biden's age and mental fitness than time spent discussing the age and mental fitness of Donald Trump.
Well, could that be because Joe Biden has been leaving all types of evidence all over the internet? We don't even have to go looking for it. It just shows up. It shows up. We don't have to make it up. We don't have to do what y'all do. Go ahead, reinterpret what, Joe Biden said. We can't even interpret what he said, let alone reinterpret. I'm sitting there going, what is a fit? I don't know what that is. I'm sitting there going, can I get an interpreter? There's no reason to reinterpret it. So here she is talking about some, they spend all this time talking about Joe because he gives us plenty of footage. Whoa, look at that. Biden media covered 66% positive. What? Trump is 92% negative. 92%. But we cover them both vigorously. The same.
So in case you missed it, here's a sampling of Trump's weekend rambling.
Okay. We have to win in November, or we're not going to have Pennsylvania. They'll change the name. They're going to change the name of Pennsylvania.
Why would they change the name of Pennsylvania, man? Why would they do that?
The National
Now, see, you're setting yourself up for failure, big face. Yeah, Applehead. You're setting yourself up for, why would you do that? Just like Don Lemon set himself up. It's a lie. It's all a lie. Nobody has ever. Now we found out that, the deep state was spying on him. Yep, there you go. Just like her. Why would we do that? Well, now, what is this?
Park Service is walking back its plan to remove a statue of William Penn. William Penn is known as the founder of Pennsylvania, a state rich in early U.S. history.
Well, look at that big face. The big face. Somebody call Big Face. Somebody call Big Face and tell her to watch this right here. Just like when Trump said they're going to be tearing down statues of Andrew Jackson, George Washington, and all of that. And what ended up happening? That's exactly what they started doing. So now Big Face needs to see this because she was just being sarcastic. Why would they do that? Huh? Why would they do that?
Penn dreamt of a colony where Quakers, along with all kinds of Christians, could come together and worship freely.
Why would they change that in Pennsylvania, man? Why would they do that?
Other statues around the country have toppled in a recent movement to remove certain historical figures who had ties to slavery or the Confederacy during the Civil War.
That means remove every single picture, statue, everything of the Democrat Party. The name, all of it. Their whole history needs to be wiped out along with the party itself. It's establishing racism. Why can't our country overcome the stain of racism and slavery, but the Democrat Party has? Isn't that funny? They're not still beholden to all of the evil and atrocities that they caused. Isn't that crazy? We can't forgive any of the history of America because we're soiled with racism, evil, colonization, all of that stuff. But the Democrat Party somehow came out squeaky clean. Now they're the champions for freedom. Isn't that odd? Burns me up, man. They never want to talk about their part in history. And the sad part, everything that they accuse modern day society of being is what they were. What they were. And all of a sudden it's like, you know what, racism, Jim Crow. They even highlight the stuff that they were responsible for. This is Jim Crow 2.0. Nobody stopped to say, wait, didn't Jim Crow come out of the Democrat Party? It's fascinating, man. We're living in bizarre land. I'm sitting there going, wow, nobody ever thought about it. Man, is it just me that only thinks like this?
The truth is, of course, that in his own unorthodox and provocative way, Trump's trying to bolster NATO by getting the Europeans to do more, as he did when he was in office. But that reality doesn't seem to quieten the hysterical critics.
Absolutely not, because this is not designed to quiet them. They're there salivating on every word that comes out of Trump's mouth so they can twist it, manipulate it, and use it to try to throw mud on him. That's why. They know exactly what Trump was saying. They know that Trump was effective in his negotiation tactics, and I wouldn't want him to change any of it because he got great results. Great results. But here they are going to twist it and make it seem like Trump was encouraging Putin to attack NATO. I mean, they need to get exposed. I see why they're afraid for Trump to win. Because, boy, I tell you, I hope he just goes ahead and fire everything on him.
Trump, the single most important thing and the single most disqualifying thing ever said by a presidential candidate.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Yes, that's pretty much it. That right there, that was about as bad as Lyndon B. Johnson. Yeah, if we got to have these you-know-what's voting for us, we're going to have these you-know-what's voting for us for the next 200 years. Yep, Joe Biden comes right out and just says that, but he's all forgiven. All's forgiven. It's just Unky Joe from around the corner, just being Joe. You know what I'm saying? Going back to his roots. I'm sure at that moment he identified with the black church and the homies and stuff on the corner and the beatboxing and the dually ropes and the break dancing and walking around with the big box on your shoulder, listening to all the music and stuff like that. Roach clips on your ears and things like that. That's what I related to when I said, you don't know who you're voting for by now, you ain't black. I used to fry the chicken, eat the sweet potatoes and that pig feet. Love those pig feet and the hog nogs and the skins, and you gotta put the hot sauce on the skins too. Gotta put that on it. Everything was fried. All of that stuff. This guy right here got away with that. Can you imagine if Trump would have said that? It's unbelievable.
Biden is better on his worst day than Donald Trump is on his best day.
Never mind the 300 people that are dying every day from fentanyl poisoning. Never mind the humanitarian crisis that we're seeing at the border. A matter of fact, when he was sworn in the White House, our border was secure. It was sovereign.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection facing a record number of migrant encounters, including 11,000 apprehensions, the highest single-day total in at least 20 years.
Joe Biden is better on his worst day than Donald Trump is on his best day.
So wait, in one day, Joe ruined the whole country with all those executive orders. Day one. So what, you're telling me he's better than Trump on his best day? You gotta be kidding me. That man ruined the whole country in one day. Came out, all right, what do you want me to sign? everything undoing all the greatness of our country. I'm on it. On it. On it. There you go. So broke the border immediately. And this guy out here simping for Joe. This is fascinating. I'm telling you, man, this is crazy. And they just act like we don't see all the carnage. Don't even see all the carnage. So go out and vote for Joe. That's what you're saying? Go out and vote for Joe again so we can get more broken borders and more crime, more illegal immigrants coming into the country, more inflation, more jobs overseas, more wars in the Middle East.
Child molesters are going to get set free in this country at the order of Joe Biden. Those are all going to be released and are being released instead of deported because of the Biden policies.
Joe Biden is better on his worst day than Donald Trump is on his best day on every issue confronting the presidency, from healthcare to NATO.
No, never in the history of the country has our own president done more to intentionally harm the United States than what this president has done with the border, the illegals who've been invaded our country with the help of this president.
Any president prior to Donald Trump would have been impeached and removed from office immediately after telling that story that Donald Trump told on Saturday.
Well, see, I was thinking that any president that would get up there during his campaign and say, I would tell them to search the border. And they do. And he signs all these executive orders to allow them to search the border and come in with ease, and then, go ahead and handicap ICE and all of them, won't let them deport these people. I would think that guy would be impeached. I would think a guy who gets busted lying about his dealings with his son's businesses and collecting money from all these foreign countries and can't tell you where the money came from and don't own a business and don't have a product and is busted all these folks up here getting up here testifying against this dude, all these whistleblowers, I would think that person would get impeached. That's what I would think. But no. So just a guy who gets up there and says that NATO better pay up or else we ain't protecting them. That guy should get impeached.
This is just more pearl clutching by people who have Trump derangement syndrome.
Yes, it is.
They are constantly outraged, constantly appalled.
The stakes of this presidential election are not just what would happen here in the United States with a President Biden or a President Trump, but what would happen around the world, and now specifically what would happen to Ukraine, what would happen to Poland, what would happen to Finland and other threatened members of NATO without Joe Biden in the presidency.
Don't care. I am worried about what will happen to America as you big fat globalist, is worried about all these other countries. See, that's why they know we're going to go ahead and protect them anyway. Because guess what? You're so worried about everybody else except your own people. So what are you talking about? And here's God down. What would happen to them? I don't care. I'm wondering what's going to happen at that border. What's going to happen to our homeless? What's going to happen to our soldiers and all of our veterans and things like that? What's going to happen to these underprivileged neighborhoods ran by Democrats who are filled with crime and all of that stuff? What's going to happen to all of that? What's going to happen to our economy? Things like that. What's going to happen to our military as we're sending money everywhere else? These are real things that we should be focusing on, but not this guy. He's trying to scare us and make us think we're going to go into World War III if NATO doesn't pay us and we don't defend NATO. Trust me, NATO will pay just like they did the first time Trump was in office.
Check that.
And I hate to tell you this about NATO. If we ever needed their help, let's say we were attacked, I don't believe they'd be there.
I don't either.
I don't believe. I know the people. I know them. I can tell you country by country who would be there and who, but I don't believe they'd be there.
Donald Trump wants to destroy the careful work of the winners of World War II.
Oh, God.
And you live in a country where the news media thinks Joe Biden's age is more important than that.
They're doing everything they can, y'all. Everything they can to sell it. They're saying, man, look, don't focus on Joe's age and all the carnage this man done left all over the place. Donald Trump trying to destroy World War II veterans and stuff. He's trying to undermine this. These folks are trying to rip our democracy or our republic right out from under our nose, trying to take us into tyranny, trying to take us into Marxism, communism, whatever you want to call it. And this fool is up here trying to tell us that it's Trump that's going to go ahead and undermine all of the sacrifice from the men and women from World War II. So that they sacrifice their lives so that our government can spy on its own people? Did they sacrifice all their lives so our government could go ahead and censor everybody on the internet and stuff like that and target them? Did they sacrifice their lives so that the FBI and the DOJ could start jailing people? Did they do all of that so that, y'all could go ahead and concoction all these bootleg fake charges and try to remove a president off the ballot? Is that what they did? They died for all of that? Did they sacrifice their lives so we can have a full-blown open border? We don't even have a country. Borders wide open. They just sacrificed their lives for what? The South American continent? Not America? Actually, not even South American continent, because they're coming in from all over the globe. And this fool up here talking about that.
The special counsel said Joe Biden, he couldn't prosecute him for having classified documents, the same thing they want to prosecute Trump for. This is coming from Joe Biden's administration, the special counsel. And the special counsel said he couldn't prosecute Joe Biden because the jury would just think he's an old man with a bad memory. And that's exactly what would happen. And that would be what. And so now they're freaking out.
Donald Trump is encouraging Russia to attack our NATO allies.
Donald Trump is not a member of the Council of Foreign Relations. He doesn't talk like a traditional politician. And we've already been through this now. You'd think people would have figured it out by now.
Yeah, you would think that. You would think they would have figured it out by now. Trump's going to get out there and he's going to talk exactly like Trump. And y'all are going to go out there and you're going to lie about how he's talking or what it means and all of that stuff. And we're going to see it and laugh at it and go, wow, that's why they're fake news. That's what's going to happen. That's why they're fake news.
By the way, it was one of those crazy, and someone stood up and said, sir.
Trying too hard.
Said,
pull back,
they're
Beaker.
from a big country. Sir, if we don't pay,
it's not funny.
What will you do, sir?
It's not funny, Beaker.
He's basically saying is, if you see the comments, he said NATO was broke or busted until he took over because people weren't paying their dues. And then he told the story about how he used leverage to get people to step up to the plate and become more active in NATO. He's not the first American president. In fact, virtually every American president at some point in some way has complained about other countries in NATO not doing enough. Trump's just the first one to express it in these terms. But
now see how simple that was. See how simple that was to interpret and break down what Trump was talking about and get the meaning out of it. How did any of these eggheads we've been watching, how did they pass English school? Creative writing. How do they break down paragraphs and stuff like that? Because obviously they can't pull in these points out of a speech. If they're in a classroom, they say, what is the meaning of this speech? What is he really trying to convey to the audience? He's trying to say that Putin should attack NATO. That's what he's trying to say. How did you get that out of that? Because I'm evil and corrupt and I'm a propagandist. That's what you should be answering right there. Because there's no way you should have been able to pull that out of what Trump said. Marco Rubio had to simplify it for you. Like I see it. Everybody else sees it. It's funny how y'all see it through the lens y'all been seeing everything that Trump says. A bunch of propaganda. Y'all seen it through the propaganda lens.
Nobody's saying that.
Anyhow.
Like, what exactly? How stupid when you have to be in that audience to go, oh, wow, didn't he really say that?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I can't believe a big country president would say that.
Anyhow.
But it was it's just stupid.
You hear how stupid these two sound? Up here acting off each other, kind of feeling stupid. Ain't even funny. Liberals aren't funny. They come across non-sincere. They come across faked. It's pushed. It's forced. I'm sitting there listening to that going, am I watching Saturday Night Live? The non-funny version? Both of them are non-funny at this point.
But I took care of NATO. I said, you got to pay your bills. If you don't pay your bills, we're not going to be there to support you. And the following day, the money came rolling into NATO.
Results?
Joe Biden is better on his worst day than Donald Trump is on his best.
The Department of Justice found Joe retained and disclosed classified documents, including matters of national security and intelligence sources and methods. He put America's national security at risk and then lied about it.
I did not share classified information.
After all that, Biden's special counsel still declined to indict him because he was, quote, an elderly man with a poor memory and diminished faculties who didn't even remember when he was vice president.
If you write about President Biden's age, then you are doing a disservice to the truth.
What?
The NATO country.
If you write about his age, that means, hey, you shut your mouths. Don't be writing about his age. Y'all are killing his hopes and chances of getting back into office. Yeah. So if y'all are doing that, you know what? You're doing America a disservice. The guilt trips, the fear tactics, all of the things they try to use is so obvious, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and hear it from Trump himself, though.
Countries have to pay up. They're not paying up. They're not paying what they should. And they laugh at the stupidity of the United States of America.
Yeah.
They're laughing at us. They think we're the stupid country.
He is now so desperate to support Vladimir Putin and undercut America's allies in Europe.
None of this sounds even believable. This guy right here is so fake. He's now so desperate to support Vladimir Putin. What? Support Vladimir? Why? Why? Please tell me. Somebody said it's pitiful, Kev. It's pitiful. They are straight selling themselves out, man. Any credibility. I mean, you know, if they ever try to go to a legitimate news network, they're going to be like, dude, I saw you prostituting yourself all over TV. You have no character. You have no real personality. You are what they tell you to be. And it's unbelievable. Yeah, on multiple levels. Because one, you're not selling it, so it's unbelievable. But it's also unbelievable that y'all would do this. You're going to try to convince us that Trump's out there trying to please Putin, running the Russia narrative back again. Running it back again.
He's making up a Sir story. It's not even a good lie for Donald Trump.
As this person who's lying talk about, it's not even a good lie for Donald Trump. Your lie right now is not even a good lie against Donald Trump. You shouldn't have tried to lie on him. And I'm going, you're trying to push that lie? You ain't got a better one more belief. You know what? Back up, try it again. Do it again. Do another one. Do another lie. Because that one right there is hard to believe. Look, he wants to please Putin so bad. Boy, they need a better acting coach and a better writer.
These are stories that the fake news doesn't want to talk about. I also warned NATO about the danger of Russia. And look at the consequences on foreign policy.
What?
The world rightly had a healthy fear that as president, I would stand strong for American priorities.
You can tell he's losing it. Like he's losing his touch.
Vladimir Putin has just weighed in on the 2024 U.S. presidential race, and the Russian president's in.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Somebody asked Donald Trump's best friend, Putin, who he's going to go ahead and endorse for the presidency. I'm sure it's going to be like, absolutely, Donald Trump. Mother Russia will endorse Donald Trump because Putin will run America through Donald Trump. So let's see.
Endorsement has gone to, drum roll please, Joe Biden.
What? Wait a minute. We just watched a whole show of them saying Donald Trump loves Putin, Putin he loves Trump. All of that. Two peas in a pod. Best friends skipping on the beach holding hands. And you telling me Putin sold his best friend out for creepy sleepy? Now, why would he do that? Could it be because he knows he can have his way with the Biden administration? Could that be it? So, wow, I wonder how would they adjust to that fact?
This is Donald Trump. It's a story that a third grader would go, why is he lying to me?
Yeah, exactly. Any third grader listening to you would go, Mama, why that guy who looks like a Muppet, look like Beaker off of the Muppets? Why him lying and her and him lying to us? That's how obvious it is that they're up here lying to us. Talk about even a third grader. Pull back, Beaker. Pull back. Too much.
And they asked me, one of the presidents of the countries, a closed meeting, 28 countries at that time, he said, does that mean that you won't protect us in case, if we don't pay, you won't protect us from Russia, was the Soviet Union, but now Russia?
Listen,
I said, that's exactly what it means. Okay. Now, if I said, no, I don't mean that, then why would they pay?
Thank you. If I said, no, I don't mean that, why would they pay? Now, watch Trump call out the fake news as we close.
And you know, the people in the audience, they can't be that dumb. Just say, somebody, big country person said, sir, what if we don't? Like, this guy will do anything to.
No, you're the prostitute. You would do anything for your job and for the Democrats and for the globalists who run you. And your audience is the ones that you really should be going, dumb. Anybody watching you who's going, yeah, Donald Trump's trying to please Putin and he's trying to go ahead and sell us out and tell Putin to attack NATO. They're the ones that be going, as you're sitting there trying to make us who know what's going on seem like we're dumb. We're falling for Trump's manipulation and not mine. That's the problem.
To justify defending and supporting Vladimir Putin.
So somebody had to say it. I was amazed it didn't get out. I was amazed. The fake news didn't pull it out. I don't know. Maybe nobody wanted to talk about it. I said, no, that's exactly. And the money started to flow in.
Money?
I had to give him that answer. It was a risky answer to give, too, because people say, oh, that's a terrible thing to say, but that's the way you have to do it, I guess.
When he's president again, he's getting us ready.
Ready for what?
For him to be an autocrat, a dictator, and a guy who's going to tell Vladimir Putin, sweep in.
When asked who was better for Russia, Putin, without hesitation, replied, Biden.
Oops. Bullets.
There you go. Boy, I tell you. Yeah. So how do you explain that, Beaker? As you just said, that Putin's loving him. Yeah, they're buddies, they're besties and stuff like that. And then come to find out that Putin wants to be besties with creepy, sleepy, sleazy, sloppy Joe. In spite of Creepy and the rest of them with the Nord Stream pipeline and the little mysterious mishap right there. You're telling me he still would prefer Joe? In spite of them encouraging the Ukraine war, you're telling me that Putin would still prefer Joe. That means he sees just how weak Joe Biden is, how predictable these corrupt, evil folks are. Yep. And yet they're out here trying to tell us that it is Trump that is the biggest threat, and Trump loves Putin, and Putin loves Trump. More lies. More lies. I tell you, all lies on Trump. Do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do. All lies on Trump. Can't stop lying, man. Boy, I tell you, but I got to keep exposing it because I can't let it go. I can't stop exposing their lies. It's greater than me. It's greater than me. It's the built-in lie detector in me. So God bless y'all. God bless America. I will be back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Don't forget to hit that like button. Share my videos. Follow me on all of the other platforms. Twitter. Follow me on Instagrams. Follow my other channel. Stop and think about it. And follow me on Rumble. And then finally, please do me a favor and text 330-974-4607 if you haven't done that. Text MAGA to that so I can build my database of connecting with all of y'all. And then if you want to support the channel through my monthly fundraiser, the link is below this video. And I think that might be it. Oh, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Turn the notification button on and stuff like that too. But other than that, you know where to find me every day at 7. So God bless y'all. God bless America. We'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. All lies on Trump. I know you see the apes. I know you see the way we tear up the place. Yeah. Have a good night. Take care.